First thing I do is get down here and take care of my chicks. Fresh water for them, a little feed for them. Talking about those 45-day chicks. When I get them, I'd have some losses before, you know, in the beginning when they're baby chicks. One thing that you want to watch out about is overcrowding. Too many of them up and they want to bunch up. I noticed that a circle pen is better for them than a square pen, because anything square, they huddle up into a corner and they'll smother the ones underneath. Right down there where the land curls out, I'll zoom up my guy here where I can hold steady. I'm gonna show you guys something. And let's do some zooming up. You see all that right there along that shore? That's all the beach gone. You see all that? And coming on around, that's at the neighboring town of Gimbel. Well, down there, they turned the beach like this. They turned it into a boulevard. They turned it into a beachside road, and it has no more beach. They put big jackstones out in the water. They built this big sea retaining wall. They built like a esplanade down through there. They built this like 4-lane road, big sidewalks. They built barangay halls along it that's almost like watchtowers, because they built one after another. It's kind of crazy, man. It's like duplicate buildings down through there again. They're up tall. It's like like they're manning the fort, man. So they blocked the beach resorts that were down through there that backed up to it. They blocked them. They put a fence along there. And those resorts have no access to water, and you can't even get down to the water. You'll get slammed in those big old jackstones that they made and put down in there. So now what I'm hearing, and I read the articles on it, and another channel that we know here local in the area too also covered it.
This beach is going to change forever, and very, very soon. This is Villa Beach. This is the beautiful sandy beach of Iloilo. There's not a lot of sandy beaches in the city itself, like most cities. They have too much expansion. But this beach is really pretty when it's cleaned up. There has been a hope and a will for a long time to get this beach cleaned up, to make it more residential friendly, to do something about the informal settlements that are on this beach. This year, there was big news. And it could be good news. I hope it's good news. We'll have to see how it works out. But what's happening is there's going to be a road right where we're standing right now. We are going to go to, much like they have in Dumungus and Gimbel and Bacolod, where they build a seawall, and then you can have a road on it. But then, you know, you can have like an esplanade and vendors and that kind of thing. But unfortunately, I don't know, but I can't imagine there's going to be any sand left. I know.
Is that going this other way, down here, that Iloilo, up in that area there, out by Villa, on this same beach stretch down through here, that now they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to build a seawall, and they're going to build a boulevard and sidewalks, and because they can't just move the informal settlers without providing them housing, and I guess they don't want to spend the budget on that, they've had some hard times with that. They built these government housing places, which look to me like one of those mini storage building properties back in the US, where it's just rows of buildings with a door, you know, and a little sloped roof. They really look like a mini storage property, but it's that government housing, and a bunch of them don't want to stay there. There's like no trees, this and that. It's a very condensed up life, like in sardines. They don't have much freedom. A lot of times they end up leaving there. And now why I say not having much freedom, they don't have a place to like spread their wings, because they're just really one up on another, up on another, up on another, and it's just rock and concrete and no vegetation. So they end up abandoning those and going somewhere else, and they end up with all these abandoning spots in these government housing places. So they're not supposed to force them out unless they can relocate them, or unless they just voluntarily move and relocate. And I guess what they're going to do is just put the pressure on them down through there. They've been rebuilding the road in Villia on one side of them, and now they're going to block the beach side for them, and I think just kind of put the squeeze on it. But let me tell you, it's a mess down there in that area. It's just so much pollution and trash and you know, illegal septics and everything else. But I still understand the right for people to try to live and be somewhere. But they're going to do that down there the same as they did down this way. And we also hear that in our town here, going that direction down there where that is, in the area of Pereira, that they may be doing the same thing. So I'm not a fool that it could come this way, and all of this could turn into a road and a boulevard down through here. I'm not saying it will, it may never happen, but also there is always that chance, that reality that it could. Now the difference is we have shallow waterway out right here. They can never just get rid of the beach here in this area completely, because even if they built a seawall, it's still shallow water all out here that can be enjoyed. You can go way out several hundred feet into shallow water here, that high tide it might get, you know, 6 to 9 foot deep, and low tide it may be 0 feet deep to 2 or 3 feet, according to what kind of tide it is. But things are definitely changing, and the sad part is that down this side here at Iloilo, down this side, this south side right here of the island, that we're the only places down through here have beaches. If you go up that east side heading north on Iloilo, out of Iloilo on Panay Island, you go out towards what that Dominguez Port out there, and that's all low-lying areas. That is mangroves there, that's big fish ponds and things like that, that it's just not really a habitable place and like really a beach place or anything. So it's going to be a shame to see the beaches lost here to roads. I just tell you it will. And I see them doing it in other cities also. From what I hear, they've done it in numerous places around Cebu and other places all around the islands here. If you know of any projects where they took the beach away and built boulevards, comment down in the comments below and share with us. But it could be a possibility, and it might be years from now. It could be 10 years from now. It could be 2 years from now. We don't know. It's according to how the budget's going. But there's a strong economy here, so that could drive it faster. The Philippines is growing right now. That could drive it. Just don't know what's going to happen. Don't know. But they are definitely making changes. I figured that anything will happen at war. There's more budget, first of all, like in the city. In the town of Gimbal down here, has a family of politicians and money there, the Guerin family, so I can see how it happened there. But in our area, I think it'll take more time, just to tell you the truth. I really do. I don't think the budget's here in our area. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, off one day, right over to the next. Just jump right over to the next day. Marvin, he's been hurting his back a lot, and he's been having a problem for a while. So he's been trying to do more fishing and only working like half day for us because he's still got to provide an income for his family. And you don't always catch fish. But late last night, he come in so happy because he caught a nice big fish. And he knows I like to buy those fish. And so they headed straight down here to our house. Let me show you. So it was so late last night when we were already ready for bed that we just put it in the refrigerator, got it nice and cold, and it's going to get all cut up and packaged up this morning, man. Isn't that just beautiful? He's caught that right out behind the house here. Just right out there in the water. I'd say maybe about 1,000 feet, maybe 1,200 feet off from the beach right here. In his little bonker boat on a hand line. And I'm very proud of him catch that. He definitely needed the money, so that's good. I'll pay him a fair price for it, and that'll benefit his family. And I know he's just so happy catching this nice fish. He's been catching some other decent fish and even some little ones that happen to bring a good price too. But this right here, this is kind of what he's been hoping for. It'll keep his encouragement up too to continue trying to get some good fish out there. Oh man, these flowers are so fragrant. It's just like a perfume in the air there right now. You walk by here, man, it just smells beautiful. Very nice. So today is Wednesday, and on Friday I have an old classmate that is here in the Philippines right now. He's hooked up with some girl down in Surigao, and so he's making a ferry trip from Surigao to Cebu to Iloilo, and Cap happens to be friends with him. Now Cap's considerably older than I am, way older. I mean, like Cap is super old. But now Cap's about 7-8 years older than I am, so he's not a classmate, but Cap happens to know him from the same town, and Mark owned a shop there in our small town before, and Cap got to know him through that, and them doing some trading and hustling each other, and they became friends. So we both have Cap as a mutual friend. I haven't been around Mark a whole lot through the years and all, so we're not like super close or anything like that, but it's still pretty cool that I got a classmate that's going to be here, and I hooked him up. He didn't even know Cap was living down the road from me. He goes, what? And so he's going to go down and stay at Cap's house, and they're going to chill and all, and I think that's really cool. We've been having a lot of three-way video calls, and Mark's freaking out here in the Philippines. It was definitely a culture shock for him, and he's getting upset and he's cussing, and Cap and I both are telling him, take a chill pill, man. Just calm down and enjoy it. Quit trying to treat like every person's trying to take advantage of you, because there are a lot of good people here, I'm telling you. Here's the fisherman right here. I bet you were so happy when you pulled that fish in, weren't you?
I think it's a little bit, but I see when it's super near, shit, big kind of fish. So I'm sorry to get down the big hook.
Yeah. Oh man, I bet you were. I bet you're like jackpot. Man, I saw how jealous your face was when Miller caught some of those big fish. You know, we knew you've been wanting that. Melinda was just talking to Joanne at the beach last night, and said, how come Marvin never catches a big fish, you know? Yes. And then boom, you, not even an hour later, you come in with a big fish. That's crazy. Well, good on you, man. Yeah, I'm happy for you, bro. I was just talking about it just a minute ago. Yeah. All right. He's going to clean that fish up for me now. Part of the package deal on the purchase. Well, it's lunchtime already today. I hung out here with the boys for a while. I feel like I need to kind of stand over them a little bit. Nothing against Joel or anyone personally, but like they were setting up their form on the steel, and I stood back and it was veering off the one side, and they've done that before. So I eyeballed it and got them to pull it all over straight, and that means they had to reset their forms if they'd already sitting on the side. Only took a minute though, very simple, but I had to catch it. I can say that, like for me, I miss having Mop here. I think I'm gonna go approach him with a deal. Joel is great, but I have places I need Joel at that Joel does better work in those areas than what Mop does. And then there's things that Mop does that I can't say he's better than Joel, just Mop really hustles and moves on. So I have a place for both of them. Joel, man, he can do some very talented work on some things that Mop hasn't learned some of those talents yet. He's getting there, and he tries, and I try to teach him and let Joel teach him. But Mop is a go-getter, man. I tell you, I just need him as my right arm. I just placed an order for a 25 horsepower diesel outboard to replace this gasoline outboard here on the back of the Sea Ray 240 as my kicker motor. And that means this Yamaha 25 horse Enduro can now go back over on the Bonka boat, and it be its permanent thing once the diesel arrives. It'll probably take it a month or two to get here, so you know. Hopefully it don't. They say just a few weeks, but I'm betting probably be close to the beginning of the year when it gets here. But that's okay. When it gets here, I'll be really excited because, as I say, the gas motor then, the two-stroke Yamaha, can stay out there on the Bonka boat, and that be its home. Bolt it through, all the way through, put some good lock nuts on it, put a cable, put a lock on it, and that will be its home where I can take care of it and manage it right there. And then for it, I've got the brand new cables coming from Amazon. I actually got a really good deal and free shipping now. $40-something for a pair of 12-foot cables on Amazon for that Yamaha remote control. That's the front gear shift and throttle. And then on Lazada, I got a really good deal on the steering box and the steering cable for it, and it's on its way. So that way I can have all four controls in that Bonka, sitting down on that little captain's seat on that pedestal that I put in it. And I can drive up there, not sitting up high on the very rear of it, along with the motor and the fuel cell all back there and kicking the Bonka up high. So this should balance it back down and put me in a safer center spot, more comfortable. And I'm looking forward to that happening, and we'll just keep on taking this step by step. And then let's talk about that diesel for a minute. I'll give you a lot of specs on that when that thing actually comes, if the deal don't fall apart or something, right? But the diesel, they're also including the forward remote control with it, extra impeller kit for the water pump, an extra propeller in case I was to strike something. I have an extra prop for it that's already pitched correct for it. And then lastly, what else? Let's see. Oh, and a steering box and cable for it as well. And I might just find a way to mount that. You know, as crazy as that seems, it's really hard to get down here on the back of this boat when you drop this kicker motor bracket down and you let that motor way down. You can barely steer it with that tiller there. Now you got to sit back here on the back, which is not safe, and steer it from there. So that will actually be a big plus to have that. So if I can find a way that that cable will work when that motor's kicked down and be able to have a forward steering for it, I mean, I might have to get inventive right here or something, but I think that would be pretty beneficial. We might see. We're going to end up with a dual steering on the helm. I mean, what's going to happen here, man?